Buenas noches. ¿Cómo está? Buenas noches. How are you doing? ¿Cómo estás? Yo bien. ¿Y tú? One viewer for a second there, but I mean, it always fluctuates, whether it's telling the truth or not. But my hand is hand is a little sweaty, so it won't grip my thumb enough to pop. Allow me to pop the knuckle. Oh yeah, there we go. Needed it. I got a permanently broken wrist. I don't know how to. My wrist is permanently broken. Happened when I was 23. I'm 44, so that's like 21 years with a permanently broken wrist. Yeah. But life has been harder than that. You know. I rode BMX a lot when I was a kid, and dirt bikes, skateboards. Skateboards wasn't as bad at when falling down from. You go, you loop out a lot on a skateboard, and you go down on your backside like that a lot. You know, on your back, and you tumble over frontwards uh, on a skateboard, but not as much on like a dirt bike or a BMX bike. You always go over frontwards, basically, on a dirt bike and a BMX. Um, yeah, I was bunny hopping like a. I was bunny hopping like I don't know, 10, 6, well, probably a 12-foot gap, and there was a curb before the gap, so you had to come down the street as fast as you can, and then pull up for the bunny hop to clear the gap. And I came down the street fast as I could, and when I went to bunny hop to clear the gap, my back tire bounced off the curb and sent me Indo style. I cleared the gap with my bike and my body, but I went down on my hands like this, and basically, as soon as I touched the sidewalk, my wrist snapped. You know, but I had so much adrenaline and shit. I just got up and grabbed my bike and went riding and shit. You know, uh, I didn't. I don't know. I wasn't in a perfect place um, back then. You know, my what am I doing here? My wrist just stayed fucking broken. Oh, there was the best side of the lump. You're supposed to have this lump on this side of your wrist, but you're not supposed to have the same lump on the other side of your wrist. Yeah. But man, I broke that sucker so many times since too. Every time I go down Indo style on a dirt bike, I break my wrist. One time I was fucking kicking it on a dirt bike across the desert, fifth gear, and the bolts rattled out of the front fender, and the front fender came down and got stuck in the front wheel, and fucking just out of the blue, going from fucking badass cruising, probably around 65 miles an hour, 69 miles an hour, yeah, to going over the handlebars. It was crazy. I walked back and seen where the bike was on the front tire for like almost 100 feet. You know what I mean? It was just like at least 60 feet just going over. But I was going so fast that like it went down instantly into an Indo. But I was going so fast that my front tire drugged the ground for about 100 feet before I actually went into the desert ground. But also on top of that, my body just ragdolled out into the desert, for probably close to 100 feet more, but it's kind of nothing to nothing. You got to just kind of let your body go with it. It's not the first time you're going to go down on a dirt bike in fifth gear, and it won't be the last or whatever. How's your day going? I don't know. It's going all right. Like it's like whatever. You know. You know. Life is kind of a weird life these days with all the flock cameras going in and stories about like cops following their ex-girlfriends and using the flock cameras and everything that Donald Trump's doing all over the world, basically making everyone hate us. I don't know what the reasoning behind all that is. He thinks he's making the world great, but it's like, wait a second, bro. We're in a position where we need to be striving for peace, not, making the Department of Defense into the Department of War. Like, wow, what? So we're going to be going to war for the rest of our lives as long as defense is a lawful act. Forcing wars is not a lawful act. It's actually we're looking at crimes against humanity. Here, this is not right. We're supposed to be in defense, not in war. But you can't. I guess I can't tell everybody. No, quite frankly, I don't support Trump. Back in like 2000, between 2008 and 2000 and like 13, I thought I liked the possibility of Trump being the president. But when I heard that leaked audio from that bus where he said he just grabs women by the pussy and everything, because he's rich and they let him do it when he's rich. So it's not that they let him do it. It's just that they thought he was way too rich and powerful to like make a stink over it. But yeah, when he said that, when he got caught on that hot mic in that bus saying that about women, I basically lost all respect for him. Everybody's got mothers, everybody's got sisters and nieces and cousins, everything like that. It's like that's something that you shouldn't even be getting caught on a hot mic saying. I mean, oh, I mean, guys are guys and girls are girls, so you're gonna grab a girl by her private every once in a while in your life, but that's when you have gotten the okay, consensual agreement. But when you're just grabbing them without even asking, holy shit, who fucking says that? Who's doing that to fucking even be saying that? That's scary shit there. Kind of made me feel like I couldn't support him anymore. And then as he became the president the first time, I was like, Jesus, what kind of fucking monkey shit is this? Um, Wacky. How many other weird words, like unorganized, fucking, is what I mean, by that. Unorganized for one. Seems like the world is jumping all over the place, moving way too fast for any of us to control. I don't understand why it's happening like this. Sure ain't the 80s and the 90s, you know? Ain't even sure isn't even the early 2000s. This is weird. Like there's a protest. It says no justice, no peace. Right? There's a protest slogan thing, whatever you call them. Um, no justice, no peace, and it's so weird that they want to like imagine what Gaza looks like, and then to label people terrorists. Like if your country got turned into what Gaza looks like, you would probably label somebody a terrorist. But one um, so-called terrorist attack in New York, and all of a sudden they label everybody in the world a terrorist that doesn't agree with their bullshit. And what that does is that creates no peace. It strips justice, and then you get nothing but no peace. So that's basically the world that um, we're living in right now, is a world of injustice and no peace. Willie Nelson, huh? That's awesome. You know, yeah. After the other day, probably people won't hardly come to talk on my live. They're all mad at me because I let that dude Demon Timeish talk to me like that. But I understand. Like I was comprehending way farther than what everybody was thinking. Like they thought he was being disrespectful. One of my mods timed him out, but then when I went into the live of one of my friends that was in the live chat, they're like, "Man, you shouldn't let that guy talk to you like that." And it's like, what are you talking about? Let somebody talk to me like that. I can't control how you guys talk to me. You know, I could be piss poor and just start blocking everybody. But then it's like, what are we even in this life for? You know, Jeez Louise. There's a level of what you can take. When it becomes malicious harassment or something, and you actually start feeling harassed, but just talking shit to somebody, just somebody talking shit to me, uh, I'm not gonna just dislike. But the thing about it is, he wasn't talking shit. He was offering a point of view on a life tip that anyone should be able to follow. It just wasn't inducive of freedom. It was more of a, dude, you shouldn't have even been out there protesting. Look where it got you. It's not going to get you anywhere. You might as well just let it all go. Don't even worry about that shit. Put it out of your mind. And I'm getting a call right now. Hey, what's the matter, you? Wasn't sure how many people I would have after people think I was letting myself be disrespected, and it's like that's not even what it's about. Why can't I make my own choices in this world? That's how I feel sometimes, you know. When it's a public service employee, also I get a little bit more, you know, like if you guys if some dude that was a like one of us, like a people, started calling me a bitch ass punk and all this shit, I'd be like, oh, dude, whatever, man. You haven't touched me on my face. But if it's a public service employee, it's like, oh hell no, that's getting protested right now. Like I'm a bitch about that. You want to call me a bitch? Oh shit, I'm gonna be a bitch when it comes to a public service employee fucking trying to you know fucking like show any kind of bias. You know, great audio quality tonight. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I the tribe. The thing about it is I was having my lives during the morning, and I bring my fan over. I bring my fan over in the nighttime. I put my fan on the window, blow the fresh air in. In the morning time, I bring my fan over here and set it here and plug it in over here. And I think the feedback from the electrical current coming from the plug, I think that feeds back through the phone. And plus, the fan sound is right there behind the phone, so it was probably canceling out the canceling out the audio, which that's probably why it was happening that way. Subbed on YouTube. That's cool. Yeah. I did a workout in the vertical position, vertical live on YouTube yesterday, and um, I got a subscriber off of that. But yeah, subscribers are good to have because when you have subscribers, that means you have other people that can watch evidence that you need, for people to see. Maybe you're a content creator and you want people to see more of your videos. I'm not a content creator. I'm a provocative protester that studies as much as I can of American documents, and and I believe in Fourth Amendment. I believe in property because all rights are derivative from property. Um, you don't have a life unless you have a right to own this flesh. Um, Anyone can take our flesh away. It's not that hard. That's why it's a scoundrel move. You know, we're supposed to love each other, be peaceful to thy neighbor, all this other stuff. That's not just a God's law, a commandment or a law. It's it's an absolute necessity to even belong in this existence that we're all trying for. It's weirder than shit. It's like more than just saying I have rights. I have the right to own my property. It's like no, that's a necessity of life as we know it. I want your children to live. I want your sisters to be able to live in love and be in a peace. I don't want them to be in strife and nastiness and everything else. So I try to I try to preach the respect of rights, you know, but not everybody agrees with that shit. Juan Galt on YouTube for years asked me, dude, if we have rights, how much do rights weigh? It's like, yeah, Juan Galt, you're a real stand-up act. It's also good in case you run into the authority and need to go live as well. Yeah, I have my neurologist send you the bill for treating the convulsions from the choppy sound. Oh yeah, the tribe, is that how bad it was? Is that how bad it was? That's funny. You're awesome. I'll have my neurologist send you the bill for treating the com- convulsions. The L is gone, but I mean, I could tell it should be convulsions, right? The choppy sound. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, exactly, convulsions. I was talking with some people. I didn't mess around with Facebook. I quit messing around with Facebook back in like 2014 or 2015, something like that. And but then when I got these malicious charges placed on me and this malicious prosecution, I made a profile for talking on YouTube with the people of the county on those community groups or whatever, the community groups, the local area community groups. And there's been some awesome people in those community groups. The flock and the data centers are really bringing the protesters out of the people. You know what I mean? I haven't seen so many people speaking out against the local county. You know, and one time. I mean, I've heard stories all the way across over the years. Knight County is never out of corruption. They're always in corruption. But I'm just saying, at one time, over one issue, fucking the protesters are coming out the woodwork. Nobody wants the flock cameras. Nobody wants the data center. It's like it's like a it's like an emerald in a group of diamonds. You know, they absolutely do not want those data centers and those flock cameras. You ignore me, and I'll ignore you. Sharp words, sharp words, and hard facts. Ouch. Convulsions. What heavy duty shit? I have no idea what. I just got back from Golden Corral with Mr. Bones. Hell yeah, and his bear. First buffet in I've been to in 30 years. Yeah, I haven't been to a buffet to the Golden Corral since I think it was 1994. I haven't been to the Golden Corral since 1994. That place is awesome. That's a real buffet, though. It's you know sometimes when you go to a buffet, it's almost like somebody trying to cook food and place it out there. It's a lot of grease settles on the top type of shit. The Golden Corral is awesome. I sure wish I could go to Golden Corral right now. I want breakfast. I want not breakfast. I want biscuits and gravy for breakfast. I want I want a beef stew. I want like a real homemade slow cooked beef stew. Um, I haven't had anything like that in like 4 years. You know, it was weak, huh? Yeah, I haven't been to Sizzler before. I don't think, but uh, Red Lobster or something like that. Applebee's is the closest I've been to any kind of thing like Sizzler. Sizzler is its own world, though. It's not anything like those. I'm just saying. Shit. Trying to pop my neck. Sorry. Get a pressure cooker. Oh, I know. Yeah, I need to find one. I'll order one from the United States or something. When I was like 8 years old, aunt, my dad was so mad at her for taking me there because he was very critical of her weight. That's sad. What's the matter, you? It's too bad, you know? Yeah, he was critical of her weight, and he thought that she was going to be turning you into something like that. But he doesn't realize that it's not, that it has a lot to do with genetics and personality and all this other stuff. Because he was very critical of her weight, yeah. I'm going to sleep. I'll catch you another time. All right, Corey, still. Have a good night or whatever. Yeah, my dad was critical of everything about everyone. Yeah, that's harsh. Yeah, very harsh. Sucks living around somebody that's just critical all the time. It's like authoritarian figure or whatever. Like, yay, did we get to do this? Yay. Sure is the opposite of Disneyland around this place. Yeah. Yeah, it's harsh. Oh, we got it backstage. Curious of something.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
What you streaming about?
how you doing?
I'm alright.
your,
What,
your,
what do you think my
your
name's
name
from?
your name is I can't what is say
Icarus
it
of
for
the
me?
Icarus of the lovely Israel. That's my name.
Icarus. That's a cool name.
Yeah,
Icarus is Iron Maiden has a cool song about Icarus, right?
I think so. Let me look.
You don't like Iron Maiden?
I've never really listened to their music.
Well, you would like that song. If your name is Icarus, I would listen to that song like that. That's a good like type of I mean this story of Icarus is a very sad story, but at the same time, it's also a story of like building yourself up in spite of others um like viewpoints. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You listen to like Black Sabbath or Dio at all?
Yeah, I listen to Black Sabbath and Dio, but yeah, both of
Alright.
them. I like Dio and I like Black Sabbath, but I don't like Dio singing for Black Sabbath.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know. I just didn't get into it, you know. I like Ozzy and I like Dio and I like Black Sabbath, but I like Ozzy singing for Black Sabbath. Sorry. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
oh, so Ozzy Osbourne sung for Black Sabbath.
Yeah, Ozzy is the original.
Yeah, I like a lot of Ozzy's music. You ever seen him on the Jersey Shore reality television show?
No, I didn't. I never watched TV much, you know, growing up. Back in the 80s, there was only like three channels, and your mother took out all of those. You know what I mean? Like,
Back,
basically, you didn't get a chance to watch the TV when you were back in the 80s. If you did get to watch the TV, it was luckily something that everybody in your family wanted to watch at the same time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, and then, so we did a lot of playing outside, going to the fishing holes and shit like that when we were in the 80s. And then, the channel, you got more channels in the 90s, but your parents still didn't let you watch the TV. And then I turned 18 in 2000. So After that, I got to watch whatever TV I wanted to, but at the same time, it's like I still didn't want to watch TV. It wasn't important to me. I rode dirt bikes, you know.
Yeah. How old are you now?
Now I'm 40, or I'm 40. I'm I'm supposed to be. I'm gonna be 44, I think.
Oh,
I'm
all right.
43. I can't remember that great because I stopped fucking with the calendar and the clock. You know what I mean? But I didn't do. I'm not perfect at doing that either because I had an outer body experience when I was 22, and I went searching for different religions because my outer body, like seeing the one known as Jesus, was way different than what they would try to tell you on any side, you know. But uh, what I'm trying to say is I was searching shit and I saw this um I saw that these people were saying something about the creator's calendar. It was a Christian organization, and
Yeah.
they were saying that the Gregorian calendar, you know, they were pointing the fact out that the Gregorian calendar is made by some pope here on earth, and that the Bible. I mean, my mom didn't go to church, my dad didn't go to church, so I took myself to church when I was a kid. So I chose to be a Christian, but I mean, there wasn't no mosques around, so I might have been at mosque, or you know, there wasn't even any synagogues around, so I didn't choose to be a Jew either, you know. But the thing about it is I mean, there was Christians. I was born in Utah, uh, but even the Mormons, they weren't inviting. When I first went to a Mormon church, was the very first church I tried to go to. Oh man, they shunned my ass real fast, you know. Um, they didn't shun me away from the church, but when my friend that I followed to that church went into the church and got to go into the main room, basically I just saw the door open, everybody walked in, but they didn't let me go. They made me sit in a desk out in the lobby and do my Sunday school work from there. Um, and when that happened, I was the only fucking little kid, like 5-year old in that fucking lobby. I was like, fake flowers and all this fucking shit. I basically left that church never wanting to go back to a Mormon church ever again. Um, but I stuck with the Christian shit, you know, and was baptized, you know, under my own choice, in the name of Jesus, and you know this when I was 12 years old. But the thing is yeah, my whole entire life until I was 22 years old, I never paid attention to the very first paragraph of the fucking Bible that we're all supposed to go by as Christians. You know,
Yeah.
the very first paragraph in Genesis, I think it's Genesis 14. It says God made the sun and the moon to divide the days and the nights, and tell for signs and seasons and days and years. And here I spent my entire life going to church on Sunday at like 8 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about it is that like I spent my whole entire life trying to figure out what Christianity was, and I never even followed the very first paragraph. And there ain't many people in the United States that do. Okay, which is really wicked. If you're not on time in the United States, they will punish you. Okay,
Yeah.
most people think that they'll just get punished for like doing drugs or like skipping school or maybe like getting in a fight, stealing somebody's stuff. Those are things you would think that you're going to get in trouble for. But try not being there at a certain time, like Monday morning for school. They'll arrest you and your parents.
Yeah. Well, how often do you stream on StreamYard?
I have no idea. You know, not very often. My channel is a provocative protesting channel, and I basically post evidence of my either cop watches for the last bunch of since 2021. I haven't done any cop watch or auditing. Basically, mine was being attacked, harassed by a local, county maintenance man who was trying to use his county maintenance position as a way to like keep coming around my house and telling me when I was supposed to clean my yard and whatnot, how high of a fence they want me to have and shit. Like at that point, you don't get a chance at life. You know, you can't make your own decisions about your own life. What kind of life do you fucking have? You know. So basically,
Yeah.
that's what. So my channel is about showcasing evidence. So I don't have a flashy channel. I don't go live a lot. I go live when I feel like I have a something to talk about, and I want to relate with some of the people that I hang out with on the YouTube in the comment sections and in the chats. I don't really need a bunch of people that don't know what's going on to come over here and like sit here and I'm kind of like carefree and I'm open minded, so it's easy to fucking hijack my live stream, you know, just so that you know, you know, a lot of people come over here and hijack my live stream. Adios, homeboy. If you push the wrong button, come on back. Now you're here. See what you got to say more, unless you found out that it's not interesting. He's young, Wtnk. Oh, yeah. I figured he was probably like, 24. Not quite. Oh, BRB. Gotta help my elderly mom in a minute. Hell yeah. Good job. Is Icarus on the Led Zeppelin LP albums? Yeah. Yeah. I think Led Zeppelin's logo is Icarus.
Sorry, I had to leave abruptly. Something came up.
Yeah. I was figuring you either fell off because you pushed the back button instead of the X button, or something came up like a phone call came through and was messing with you.
Yeah.
Something in private chat, huh? Oh, okay. You're back. Okay.
Yeah, I was just saying that I was back.
Okay, cool. So, what's up? What did you decide to come over here to look at my ugly ass for tonight?
Oh, I just randomly got recommended your YouTube channel, and I just saw you were streaming, so I just joined.
That's cool. I see you're, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I shouldn't start any conversations. Maybe, yeah. My friends, they think that you're young. Are you like in your 20s?
I'm 22. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, that's not young. That's normal. I remember when I was 22. You know what I mean? I felt like I was older, than I was. But at the same time, it's around 28 or something that you start feeling like another step up in life. And then when you get to 40, shit starts falling apart, Jack. Love your life at 22. From 22 to 28, I would recommend staying away from females. You know what I mean? But if you can like wear a condom or you got a good strong pullout game, that's fine. But don't have no babies. Don't even accidentally have a baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I want to have kids at some point, but
Yeah.
the current state of the country is pretty shit.
Yeah.
People just can't afford to have children.
No. There's no outlook of the future at this point right now, bro. I feel
Yeah.
sorry. Like, I remember when I was 22, man, I would have thought about defending this country, or something like that, right? But now that I'm gonna be 44 in like a month or two, so it's like, no, I wouldn't recommend. I would not recommend defending that country. That country has a lot of forgiving to do before it can think about starting to be defended. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, sure, defend the lives and defend the freedom, like right there on the land. But I ain't going across the seas to go defend no country, because that's turned out to be. I mean, I remember when I was born in '82. They had I was born like during the mid to end of the Cold War, and they were going into Kuwait. You know what I mean? They were getting
Right.
ready to go into Kuwait and Serbia and all those places. Uh, Real time oil wars. So,
Yeah.
me want. Oh, that's pretty crazy. What do we got here? We got another person that's coming up on Mr. Magoo, huh? I used to have a friend that liked to call himself Mr.
Hey,
Magoo.
yeah, that's me, man. How you doing?
Doing okay.
Yeah, but like, how's it going, man? How you doing? Are you doing good?
I don't know.
Hold on, I don't think I can hear you.
Yeah, something when
Is
you
this
came
thing
up,
even
your
working?
audio is
Hold
just
on.
great, but
I
everybody
can't
else
even hear
got quiet.
myself. I don't think. Hold
Yeah, your audio was kicking
on. Okay, testing. Okay, I can hear you now.
like a steamy stir fry. It was kicking.
Yeah, I had to like change the sentence a bit, but how you doing, man? How's it going?
I don't know. Just doing like normal.
Oh yeah, analyzing, pretty much everything. I guess that's what we're doing.
Yeah, each one of us are trying to learn. That's all we
Yeah.
can do from when we're born to the time we die. There's always something to learn on this earth, it seems like.
Yeah. The most common regret is procrastination. That's what everybody. I think that's yeah, it's a pretty common issue for many
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Easy
what
thing
is
to
your
do.
biggest regret? Is it procrastination as well? Like you thought you have like more opportunity or something.
No, I don't have I don't really I don't know. I mean,
I
you
mean,
have
it
dreams.
is
You
a
have dreams when you're a grade schooler, and you think that it's going to be some way. So you start working towards some dreams, and then when you get into high school, it's going to change slightly your dreams just in that short little time frame. But then when you get out of high school, you find out that the dreams that you had when you were like 8 years old in like fifth grade or something, uh, or third grade or wherever you were.
completely
Yeah,
different.
basically third grade. Those dreams are so you find out when you're like in your 20s that the dreams you had when you were between third and fifth grade are like almost a joke. They're so far fetched. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it requires like certificates and all that. Such
Beyond certificates, shit. You could have all the certificates in the freaking world. You still ain't gonna get the opportunity. certificate don't mean you're going to get the opportunity. There's 1,000 people with the same certificate.
Yeah.
You know, it's the bottom line is you worked hard for your certificate. You did everything right. You actually fucking put in the effort. And okay, you know, you get in your 20s, you find out that not even the certificates really mean that much. So, but yeah, at least you know you tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
You actually put in the work.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're going to get a better education off the internet in 2003 than you are on any certificate in the college. You know,
Yeah.
only thing you get in the college and the high school is a diploma that will show something that, like, look at, I got this piece of paper saying that this is that I did something for somebody somewhere. It's a trippy ass world, I tell you that.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's life is full of pretty much everything, really.
In 2000, I had the opportunity to go to Ozfest,
Ozfest.
or
Is that
yeah, it's like Oz. It was a festival that Ozzy used to put on. It was almost like
Ozfest.
yeah,
Ozzy Osbourne, yeah.
yeah. So I had the money to go to Ozfest, and I was going to go to Ozfest, and I showed up at my friend's house to go to Ozfest with my friends, right?
Yeah.
But one of my other friends, he wanted to go to Ozfest, but he had 3 hits of acid, and I had the opportunity to either go to Ozfest like I was planning on doing, or you know, take a couple hits of acid, and I chose to, you know, take the acid. You know,
Yeah.
let's see here. Somebody else is coming on, and homeboy, the kid took off, the 22-year-old.
Oh yeah, yeah. He took off, yeah.
I
Let's-
hate black
hopefully he comes
people.
back.
Oh, bro, come on, man.
he,
Fucking-
he
man.
straight up took off without even I didn't even kick him out. He just took off. He came up here to
Oh.
say he hates black people.
Man,
And then-
the ESG score going down. No, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's loser ass mentality. He was just doing it because it makes him feel funny inside.
Yeah,
It's like
them-
prank calling.
Yeah, the
You know?
dirty trolls, man. Yeah, man.
It's like prank calling. You know.
Yeah, man. Anyways, like, are you into like so what exactly are you interested in? What kind of subject, like geography, urbanism, etc.? Like, are you into like any history of like American infrastructure or something like that, right? Or, like
Well, like Henry Ford.
that urban renewal, Robert Moses, etc. Like,
I'm not sure about urban renewal,
it's
but
pretty much a whole rabbit hole, to be honest. Like, you know, the places like in the 40s used to look European, pretty walkable,
Yeah.
not car.
Yeah, like the Victorian. They had the Victorian era in like the 30s.
Victorian area. Yeah, the places they do not have like
20s.
any parking lots, like ground level parking lots and all that. But now, like, ever since the introduction of highways, they just demolished all that shit, you know, and they just like had all this slop, like like McDonald's and fucking just pretty much just like displacing everyone, really. I mean, it's if you like try to compare like satellite images of like cities from the 1940s and cities today, you'll kind of reflect on like, damn, what kind of world we live in, like before the automobile. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it was back when things were made real back then, but nowadays everything's thin and plastic.
Yeah, but everything used to be European standard. I mean, shit, trains were everywhere. Man. We could like have a high speed train line like transcontinental, but nah, apparently not. It gotta be highways, but oh well.
But are you into like learning about Tartaria and the resets and all that stuff, or what?
What's that again? The Tartaria and the reset. It's,
Yeah, Tartaria and the resets.
I have no knowledge to that. Can you
Oh,
elaborate like on that?
well, it's kind of like what you're talking about. It has to do with like the structures that they had in the old times. Hey, K. Stevenson, how you doing? Good to see you.
And
Um,
and
they
minimalism as well, like the just how the culture shifted towards that specific subject, like trying to
like
push
the White House.
minimalism.
The White House, how it looks, that the pillars, the white pillars, and everything's made of stone.
Yeah.
Well, when you start learning about like Tartaria and everything, it's kind of like what you're talking about, like the Victorian style create
Oh yeah.
buildings and stuff like. But
Oh,
it
Deco.
goes even further than that. Like they think that like the White House was standing there for centuries, like possibly since like 300 AD or something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the concept of the design, yeah, it's like Greek.
Yeah,
It's
it's almost like the
like
Greek buildings.
they don't I've been to like Italy and all that. Like it changes my perspective. I live in a small neighborhood. I hate it. It's pretty much car dependent. Like I have to get from point A to point B by car, and if I wanted to walk, it's gonna be a long ways because there's possibly like pretty much everywhere you go, it just has no shortcuts for like anybody that is not taking the car and all that. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's just a whole like technical crap when it comes to like the subject of urbanism in general as well, especially like
What do you like about the urban?
urbanism, like city planning.
Yeah,
It
but what
teaches
are you into these smart cities and these like 15-minute
uh,
cities?
sort of like that, yeah. But I'm like kind of like interested in a Europeanish like type of urbanism being brought into this country. Like, I mean, there are some pretty cool cities, like pretty cool historical cities that hasn't been like demolished or anything, like Savannah, Georgia, or Charleston, South Carolina. One of those like cool historical places where just no highways just like, cut through the city. Like, it's crazy. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna call it a night. It's pretty late. I'll talk. It's nice talking to you, man. What's your name?
Uh, Welcome to North Korea for all intents and purposes. But at the same time, until further notice, like maybe if the United States starts acting right and honoring people's rights and actively, create serving the public and actually, not serving it for a dollar, but serving it for honor. Maybe if it got back to something closer to that, then I would be able to stop calling it North Korea. You know,
Yeah. Okay. But and then again, what is your name? Like, I gotta go anyways. It's like 2 a.m.
what's your name?
Uh, Josh.
Are
Yeah,
you
man.
joshing me?
No, absolutely not. I'm not Josh. But what's your name? What's your name?
Scott.
Oh, Scott. Great Scott.
Yeah, Great Scott.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Anyways.
You're joshing me, and I'm Great Scott.
Yep. Anyways, have a good one. See ya.
You too, dude.
Yeah.
Don't know who you are, but you can come back and talk some other time. You know, anytime you want or whatever. I don't know. I have problems and everything, so don't think I'm fucking the greatest or anything. I'm just a dude. PM early here. Just woke up. Damn, that's cool. Yeah, no, it's getting late in here. You know, I thought you were out in like Hawaii or something, K. Stevenson. I can't remember where you're from. Been talking with you for a couple years now on these comment sections and chats. You're a good individual, smart. Got your heart in the right place. England, heck yeah. Yorkshire, that's cool. Yeah, my wife's dad's from Yorkshire, I believe. Um, what is it? Scarborough is where my wife's dad's from. Yeah, he wanted his ashes in the north. Wants his ashes put in the Northern Sea, but he died here in the United States. So basically, my wife's dad's new wife has his ashes. Whether they got the um, ashes to Scarborough or not, I don't know. My family on my dad's side um, was the first Northumbrian king, or the first king of Northumbria, or whatever, like a Norwegian king that came over, and that was when Northumbria was basically started, or whatever. You probably know more about Northumbria than I do, though. I didn't really study Northumbria much, but I know there's a rock. There's a big rock somewhere on a hillside over there. It's like a gigantic. I mean, not gigantic. It's like 10 feet wide and 3 or 4 feet tall, something like that, if I remember right. In Northumbria. I mean, but it's not Northumbria anymore. It's the area of Northumbria. It could be Lindisfarne with a monastery. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly. I haven't seen it in years. Like I studied the shit. My sister did all the genealogy or whatever for my family, and we I back then I studied it a little bit. Well, yeah, Northumbria is the area between Scotland and England. It was a country. It only happened for a little second. It was like southern Scotland, and northern England was a place called um, Northumbria, its own country. But then it got taken away. Lindisfarne is an island there. Oh no, I thought that was the rock. No, I thought that was the rock that you were naming the rock. I know the rock is named something. I know the stone of Scone, I believe, is called the Leophale. Or maybe that was a sword. Which one was it? I think I'm right on that. That's stone of Scone. Let's see here. Let's see here. I got two people in here that I didn't even know tonight, or haven't seen around. At least I didn't think I knew. Or whatever. That's pretty crazy. Where's Joe Cool? Where's somebody to talk with? Those guys were cool to talk with. That the kid, he was cool to talk with. I was wondering about him. He seemed pretty laid back. The other guy, he was a little bit different, but he was still laid back too. Had like a Boston accent, maybe New Hampshire, or yeah. Let's see here. Why is it doing that? This phone is slow. Trying to look something up about Northumbria on this phone, but it's hecka slow for some reason. So weird when you try to go to like Google on a phone and it goes to some other shit. Northumbria. Rock. Let's see here. See if it'll. It has to do with like a midway point. It's like a marker for a midway point. I had Maui in the name title when. Oh yeah, that's what the hell. Yeah, yeah, back in yeah. That's why I was thinking Hawaii, but yeah, it was just because you were protesting for Maui that time when they were trying to do them wrong over that fire. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I think this is it right here. It's Ulster. Something to do with Ulster. The stone has something to do with Ulster. Yeah, that Maui fire was real trippy, huh? You could tell that was deliberate. Those fires are still happening where the whole forest stands around the place, but just the houses are burnt down like to ashes. Like not even just like the house didn't just catch on fire and it's like there's a shell. No, the damn thing turns into like ashes all the way down to the fucking the dirt. It's crazier and shit. But all the trees are just fine and dandy. Yeah, seems to be happening in other areas. Melting metals and stuff. Yeah, hot enough to melt the rims off of a car, but doesn't burn the trees. Yeah, melting the toilet and tank. Like, what does that? That's porcelain. That's gonna be taking a lot of heat to melt that. Ungodly heat. Let's see here. On that. Oh, excuse me. My other phone was dying. So that's why it was acting all slow. I had to put a charge on it. Yeah, no, it's we all need to know more about why these are happening, and on top of it, people need to talk about it more. Like it's a weird phenomenon, like the uh chemical trails were a phenomenon at first. How many years does it have to go by where these houses and cars are melting down to the fucking pavement, but the trees are still standing all around? Like something's directed or some shit. Yeah, yeah, like the day is a little bit more brighter around those areas. The sun shining through the plasma. Earthquake lights, UFOs, or spiritual. Yeah, the harp, radio frequency. They used to say that they used to beam the radio frequency from the ground up to a satellite and then from the satellite down to the ground. And they could pinpoint the energy wave, you know, and they could cause a section of Earth to heat up. They could heat up a section of the cold Atlantic and make the water move south and cause winds to blow, down into the Gulf. Yes. Uh huh. I worked out like 3 days in a row um, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I felt really good that week. I was, getting in shape, and all of a sudden, I must have been going too hard because I must have weakened my immune system because I all of a sudden caught a cold, and I didn't go nowhere. I stayed right here in the house, and uh, basically, I had to let myself heal up, and then yesterday I did a workout, and it felt good. But right now, everything is um I'm sore. When I did the back arms off of the sink, I basically, man, my back arms are killing me. I need to go find some creatine somewhere because creatine basically takes those amino acids. Like I got a buildup of amino acids right here in the back of my arms that's just hurting so bad. But it's all right. I mean, it's lifting weights and stuff, but it almost feels like I was fresh. And shoulder. My neck has been killing for weeks, huh? Damn, that sucks. Yeah, clouds making ships at sea. Cloud making ships at sea. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they got that cloud maker over there in Texas, but like, just imagine how many cloud making ships they have on the ocean where, nobody's out there. No weightlifting. Yeah, no, I have to. At 44, I just do body exercises, push ups, sit ups and stuff, back arms, you know, body weight exercises because I can't, you know, my muscles at 44, my muscles are breaking down, they're not trying to build. I'm just staying in shape now. Everything hurts, you know. I I can't sit there and pump iron. I used to pump iron when I was a kid, you know. It was fun. Right. Right now my shoulders are so small. You know, I used to have fucking big ass ball shoulders, you know. Everything was larger. You know, it was fun. I liked having muscles back when I was a kid. But I didn't really go for bigness. I went for real strong. And I liked having cowboy strength, and I liked I liked being strong as I could be, but as fast as I could be. So I would stay a little. I stayed a little bit small, but still, I was probably like 185 pounds uh without cutting. But when I would train for 3 months, I would knock all the way down to 155. You know, so I would go from 185 to 155. But when I was 155 pounds, I was strong like I was at 185, but I was lean. I was lean. I was sharp like a stiletto, fast, quick, uh, definitely sharp, you know. And it was nice. But now that I'm an old fat man, I'm like 210 pounds, 209 pounds. It's crazy. Yeah, I was hoping that other people would come on in and come on up on the panel. Where's all my peeps at? I feel sorry for those boys that came up earlier. They thought I was a more interesting something. Like, why did they get that? Why did they get recommended to my shit? I felt like that guy with the name on his, he had Israel on his name. I thought he was going to come in here and try to troll me or something, like try to get me talking about, you know, reasons why one wouldn't like Israel or something. I was like thinking, well, I don't really dislike anyone, but the genocide in Gaza, that's something to, that's pretty sad. I wouldn't condone that from nobody. I wouldn't even let my mother do what they're doing to those Gaza people. You know, like I would dislike. I would tell my mom I disliked her if she was the one that okayed what they were doing to Gaza. You know, I'll say, you know what, you can't do that to people. It just ain't right. No matter how scary they are. You know, yeah, yeah. It's also a common name. That's why might have been a name of a person. Yeah, exactly. Icarus. Yeah, that could be not a real name, and then Israel could have been his real name. Exactly. Doesn't just mean that it's from a place. I just thought maybe he was coming up. He wasn't really a troll. He wasn't. He didn't even ask me if I don't like it or not. You know what I mean? Which is cool. That's why I was. That's why I was saying something about it. Sorry, I took the long route, the long way around to say that. You know, it's like, yeah, he didn't even try to press any kind of issue like that. So I didn't even, I thought he was I thought he was a good person to talk to. That 22-year-old Icarus Israel. Yeah, he's cool. Come around and talk again. Yeah, you never do know. You never do know. you go live like this. Like I go live like this, hoping that somebody will talk to me about what Nye County's doing to me. But I always think that my problems are kind of boring. You know what I mean? But my problems are real. I need my rights restored. I need exonerated. I need to be able to go home. I need my life back. I protested. I defended myself. I did only lawful activities. But I want to talk about that more. But I don't know if everybody else wants to talk about that. So I hardly talk about it, which is kind of stupid. Like, why do you go live wanting to talk about your shit, but then you don't never talk about your shit with nobody? You just talk about everything everybody else wants to talk about. You know, I beat myself up. I beat myself up about that, Kay Stevenson. I beat myself up about that because I wonder why the fuck I come live like this, wanting to talk about my case, and then don't talk about my case. I just talk with everybody else about what they want to talk about. Yep, I beat myself up about that. If one suffers, you can bet there's hundreds like you at least. Don't beat up, just counsel yourself. Yeah, yeah, no, I sit there and tell myself, man, don't go live again. You don't even talk about the stuff you want to talk about. You know, why you keep on going live? And then you end up talking about the shit that happened in your life and all sorts of other stuff that we don't even need to talk about. You know, but hundreds more suffering the same. Yeah, yeah, there is. I think it's hella weird, like what's happening in the Russia part of the sufferings. Um, everybody in the United States seems like they're fans of the Ukraine. So they laugh at Russia, like, look how many Russians are dying over there, you know. And it's like, wait a second here. I don't. Okay, so we're supposed to not like the Russians, but I don't really. I'm not going to sit there and brag about how many of them are dying. You can catch me sharing in that part of whatever's going on over there in Ukraine. You know, like no, it's almost like it's almost like they are using the Russians like, oh, you want to fight us, but tons of you are dying, and you just keep on coming. Like um, they don't ever stop. You know, it's almost like Russia has to prove a point, so they're going to just keep on coming. But the Ukrainians are obviously the stronger army right now with the help of the American like missiles and shit. The drones for the Russians, they have to have a cord, fiber optic cable attached to them, where the Ukrainians have a drone that can go without the fiber optic cables, which is a longer range and more agile. Doesn't have to like stay above the trees. All this other stuff. Yeah, exactly. I see Russia a bit like Americans' partner, good cop, bad cop. Yeah, something like that. Exactly. Good cop, bad cop for the world. Start thinking. One person talking can help others stop talk. Yeah, exactly. And together on the space and nuclear deception and the money game. Just in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because they don't do anything for, but at the same time, those world leaders, they make the money. They don't necessarily need it. It's almost like a thing that they use it's the carrot dangled in front of the cow. But the thing about it is what they really like and get from us is our energy, like our sorrow and grief, and they get blood, sweat, tears. That's what they get from us, and they trade that for what we think is a money to be able to buy things. It's so weird. It's totally weird. Like, and the human being is a addictive animal. So basically, they get addicted to these technologies. They want more and more technologies. They think the technology is going to bring them closer to an easy life, but it really brings us closer to freaking jacking each other up. Yeah, that's kind of sad. No country on earth should wish it was America. The American way is not the way. It's getting to be ugly, you know? Like if England could all of a sudden prove to um, strive to be more peaceful than even like Mexico, I bet England would be like the place where everybody would want to live, you know? Not because of the land or like the trees, which all the locals love, but for the freedom, you know what I mean? That it touts. But yeah, like we need to be a good country is going to honor human rights before the police's whatever they're claiming. It sounds like they're claiming safety, but what they're really doing is taking rights. So, but yeah, if England could go to honoring human rights and then not policing as harsh as the United States does, it would probably be like a number one uh, country. That's the kind of country that makes people want to stand by its side and gain more property. Which is conquer, which is you know colonizer mentality, but at the same time, England's not a very big spot. You know, so at the same time, like man, yeah, everybody want to move there for their human rights, but there's not enough room for everybody. Right now, it's starting to look ugly over there with the protest between, you know, I guess you'd say migrants and the locals. Yeah, freedom does exist in wilderness. Well, there's a semblance of freedom. It's more free in the wilderness. The wilderness areas are starting to go away rapidly. Yes, the country is so small. China has more freedom in rural areas. Huh. Yeah, I'd wonder. I bet China is a really good place. I mean, uh, the United States always tells us about anything bad about China they can tell us, but they do the same thing for Mexico too. But Mexico is a really good place, you know. So I could only imagine what China is, you know. And that's the same for like North Korea. But in North Korea, you get the sense that it really is really bad, like as far as authoritarian. Um, North Korea makes Trump look like a little boy compared to the authoritarianness. Those people are on like 24-hour lockdown in their own homes, curfew, don't come out. And the United States is getting almost just like North Korea. It's so weird. It's like rights, freedoms. Where is it going? You know? Yeah. Um, I remember the 80s and the 90s. Oh man, it was so sweet. Uh, I lived in a town called Payson, Utah, and there was a town called Salem, Utah, on the east side of Payson, and there's town called Santaquin on the south side of Payson. Both are almost equal distance away from Payson, but each of them have a pond. So basically, your friends all get together and get all their BMX bikes together and their fishing tackle boxes and their fishing poles and shit. And we're all riding down next to the side of the highway from one town to another at like 8, 9, 10 years old, with our fishing poles, our tackle box, and everything, going to go fishing at the ponds in the towns over. It was freedom. I mean, the cops, they would ride by you. They wouldn't even stop to talk to your 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 9-year-old ass. You know, they would just ride by, see you riding down the street with the fishing poles, and down the highway, side of the highway with the, 2-lane highway or whatever. Nowadays, the kids in the United States, they cannot do that. They cannot do that in the United States no more. To a small extent, maybe, but the cops will stop them and ask them what they're doing. Where's their parents? Why are they riding down the side of the highway with, on their bicycles? We used to get locked out the house for the day. Couldn't go home until evening dinner. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of harsh when your mom locks you out of the house for the day. You know, I've been locked out of the house before like that, and it about broke my heart. It was like being left behind. You know, had to come to the realization that I wasn't getting it, and I had to go find something else to do. That's awesome. Yeah, hell, big groups on the street in Reno, Nevada. We take our asses down by the there's the river, Truckee River in Reno, Nevada. There's a big old concrete circle, and it's just this area where people can mingle. And there's some concrete steps down to the river. And we used to call ourselves river rats. We'd go down by the river every day. We'd meet there, as kids and hang out, chill with each other. Sometimes there'd be fights down there. It was fun. It was hella fun. That's what's funny about like the cops and everything. It's like um we were raised on like uh most people in the United States and in England were raised basically kind of like uh not necessarily all of them would be gypsies or anything, but that's the kind of we liked boxing. Both countries, England and the United States, likes boxing. So there's always gonna be fighters in these countries. But then the cops are trying to fucking say nobody can fight. It's like, wait a second here. So we're fighting countries, but nobody can fight. What the hell is this? You know? I think it creates the running around backstabbing people and fucking shooting them and stuff instead of getting in a fist fight. I think the cops create that shit by, you know, if you could just take your friend down by the dumpster and fucking beat the shit out of each other, and it didn't go past more than a fight, basically fist fight, boom, scrap it out, you're done, you know. But instead, everybody's got to be rolling around in secret and wondering who's going to catch who because they're trying to stay away from the cops and the ops. You know what I mean? We were encouraged to learn by living and making mistakes. Now all mistakes punished. Exactly. Yep. There's some bad shit that can happen in a fist fight, like you could get punched in the head and go um brain dead basically. So but that's like 1 in 1,000,000. That's like 1 in 1,000. I don't know. It's high probability. I mean, it's not a high probability, but like there's people that can get punched thousands and thousands of times and not get a brain dead. Maybe a little CTE or whatever they call it today, but nothing too bad. But yeah, I think that I don't understand why they have us boxing in competition, but we can't. We're not supposed to be fighters and all this other stuff. It's so weird to me. Remember, as few people died from one punch. Yeah, 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 yeah. You always heard those stories where, they got punched in and uppercutted in the nose, and it shattered their bone, sending it into their brain cavity. But then you come to find out that's not even. I don't even know how possible that is. I mean, it's 1 in 1,000,000 maybe. When I was a little boy in 6th grade, this kid, it was funny because he had a big old friend, and his big old friend would do almost anything his the littler friend was my size. The big old friend was bigger than both of us, but this kid had the kid my size was the one that wanted to fight with me. But when I show up after school to fight with him, he's got his big old friend there, and his big old friend wants to fight me, you know? So I fought him first. But then when the kid that was my size, went to fight me after his big friend, he put a key in his fingers right here, and the little point of the key was sticking out. And it's like I almost felt sorry for him. Like, what the hell, bro? That ain't gonna do shit for you, you know. Like I've heard of a lot of things, but putting a key there is not gonna help you. It, you know, the punch that doesn't even work like that. You know, maybe if it got me in the eyeball or something with it, but the dude was not quick enough. He was my size, my weight, and everything in my class. He just um he wasn't as advanced, at fighting. He was he should have been able to beat me up, but he wasn't able to beat me up. So you know, it's kind of sad for him. Put a key there. Like, what the fuck's that gonna do? Have a better chance with your bare fists. The key. Maybe if it was what. Maybe if the key was welded to a bar. Like, say, take a lighter like this, and then weld a fucking sharp peg off of it, and then hold it in between your fucking hand like that, with the sharp peg sticking out like this, maybe 3 inches. Now that would be fucking scarier than shit. But a flobby ass key in between the fingers, that's not gonna help you. You know? I never used a weapon, but got accused of wearing knuckle dusters and just using knuckles. Yeah, my brother got cut face having fight with that ripples on his fingers. Oh yeah, I can't see the word, but let's see here. Yeah, I've been hit with the knuckles before, with the brass knuckles. Yep, I got in a whole fist fight with a kid and didn't even know he was using knuckles on me during the fist fight. Yeah, but yeah, he got me like 3 or 4 times probably. It just wasn't enough for him, you know. Had tin can ripples on his fingers, huh? Fuck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, tin cans would probably be tin cans folded over the hands, maybe with some sort of a rope tied through to hold it in place, like a cotton shirt, chunk of a cotton shirt put through two hole to put a hole in either side of the can and run a cotton shirt through there and tie it to your fist with the can folded up over the fist. That'd be pretty nice, you know. That's the problem with being tough though, because like if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. But at the same time, if you're tough, man, by the time you get older, you're fucking feeling a little bit dumb, you know. Like, geez, I went through them, had a lot of them, a lot of them fights, you know. That's why I had to do extreme sports like BMX, uh, dirt biking, and everything because if I didn't ride dirt bikes, I wouldn't have been able to take any of all that, that competitive. I don't know. There's like a competitive nature that comes with things that can hurt you. You know, guys that do this, they have that. It's almost a psychotic want to feel the pain. It's weirder than shit. Who does this? But a lot of humans do. You know. But yeah, that's what it could. It's what it did for me when I was a kid. Instead like I would get in a fight with a kid once. Actually, even at my age right now, I wouldn't want to. Maybe. I mean, I would. I would probably still. If somebody wanted to fight and they were my size and everything, I would give them a fight a day, probably. You know, if it was a good, punch out thing and everybody, because fights don't actually last that long on the street. They last until somebody's done, which takes about anywhere from 1 minute to 5 minutes. But after that, it's basically everybody kind of one of the two guys is going to be like, no, I don't want no more, you know, and walk away. Uh, that type of fight, if I didn't get cut, you know, broken nose, that'll keep you out of a fight for about 6 weeks, you know. But other than that, yeah, yeah, most guys do, I didn't get to grow up around my dad But yeah, that's pretty cool, you know. So, but would you always be fighting with your dad or something too? You know, that's okay. Nothing to be sorry about. You know, yeah. Historically, dads aren't around. Historically, dads take off and go working. Yeah, yeah. Every once in a while, you know, the dad comes home every once in a while. When there's a dad there to come home. Yeah, for sure. I had that until I was like 7 years old. My parents were split several times for a few years. Yeah, that happens a lot, huh? So so trippy, you know. It sucks to care that much. You want to care about your mom and your dad, but you find out that life is about relationships, but those relationships don't always work out. It's trippy. Yeah, yeah. You get in trouble and be pissing it up, huh? Get boozing and shit. My dad was like an alcoholic. He boozed. But it's funny because my dad drank Utah beer, which is some fucking hell of wussy shit. You know, I think the Utah beer is like 2.9% or something like that. It's like, what? Come on. In Nevada, you can get like 5.9. That's like malt liquor. But yeah, my dad was sitting there an alcoholic on some 2.3 or some shit, 2.5% alcohol. It's like, oh my gosh, bro. When I got older, I think I was like 30 years old. I was I was talking with my dad, and basically, yeah, I cut him down hard about that. Like, you're a fucking ass. Was an alcoholic coming home, yelling, being a jerk, doing stupid, and on some 2.5% alcohol. What the fuck, bro? Hopefully, after like 30 beers, you know, better have been like 60 beers, you know. In Nevada, if you're drinking 14 beers, you're doing pretty good. If you can get 18 in you, you're you're drinking some beer. If you can get like a 24 pack in you solo without even sharing with your friends, oh man, you done drank some beer at that point. But I know some guys in Nevada that can drink 30 beers in one sitting, and that's like 5.9 alcohol. It's crazy, you know. My entire life, I would always drink around 14 to 18 beers, by myself. When I did drink beers, but no, I never really became an alcoholic. I never really, I never really had an addictive personality, but that's based on my brain. You know, I I don't have the emotions that great. You know, I have a hard time, you know, acting like everybody else acts. Like I don't get sad at things that others get sad at, and I get too sad at things that you know, I don't know, some things, you know, but life is weird like that. So yeah, it's hard for me. Even just the barley malt. How much is it over there in Florida? What's the percentage per alcohol? What is it for like a Budweiser? Tried most. I had addictive personality, but spread it around. Didn't get addicted to alcohol, crack, or heroin. Just cannabis now. Addicted to cannabis. That'd be funny. Yeah. I've been smoking weed since I was 11 years old, but I've never considered myself addicted. You know, like it's a good feeling, but it's not that I have to smoke it like to be happy. No, 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 no. But yeah, that's funny. That'd be that'd be funny. It's like, what are you addicted to? Weed, weed. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I didn't even try no heroin in my life. No, I didn't want to. The closest I tried to heroin was I took two of those me, mel, mal, methadone or whatever. Oh man, dude, that made me so fucking sick. I puked for like 3 or 4 days straight. Couldn't even hold up water, and I actually thought I was gonna die. I was telling my friend, like I was over at a friend's house actually I was at an acquaintance's house, which became a friend because I'd only known him. You know, I'd never even stayed at his freaking house, but I took those methadones and I couldn't even wake up again, like for a couple days. You know, uh, I would wake up to puke and then have to lay back down. And then I would drink a ton of shit water. And then a shit ton of water, I should say, not a ton of shit water, because that would be sick. You don't want to you don't want to drink a ton of shit water. But yeah, the methadone was no joke. Yeah, I never tried no heroin. Fuck that. Didn't know what it would do to me. I don't want to go down that road with, um, you know, being all, sleeping and then almost dying. That is what ex-heroin addicts use to replace heroin. Same thing. Yeah, that's sad. A lot of people do become addicted to that methadone. You know, I went over to a person's house and they happened to have a couple methadone pills, and I was like, shit, I want to see what that be's like. And I took those methadone pills, and it almost killed me. Uh, yeah, I did not like the feeling. I felt sicker than a dog. I was so sick. I was sicker than a dog. I never want to feel that sick again in my life. Mm-mm. That was some weird shit. But yeah, stuff like acid, I would take acid any day. Um, Mushrooms, definitely. You know, uh, cocaine, occasionally. I'm scared of cocaine these days because they can put that fentanyl in the cocaine, which is scarier and shit. You know, so I won't even try no cocaine these days. It's got to be somebody's got to prove to me that there ain't no fentanyl in there, you know. But so that ain't gonna happen. So basically, I just smoke weed anymore. Yeah, that's cool. So you're around the same age as me. I'm 40. I'm gonna be 44 here in a couple months. So you're nearly 50. So you're in your 40s. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I heard of people saying that they put stuff in weed, but I never, you know, what I did see was that somebody bought some weed from the dispensary and then they put it in water and this purple dye started coming off the weed. I was like, what the fuck is that? But I haven't smoked no dispensary weed since 2015, 2016. So it's not that great of a scare for me, but yeah, that's scary. That'd be scary to know. That'd be scary to find out, I mean. Spice like spray chemicals, I think I heard. Yeah, I don't like that spice. I tried that spice one time. It was nothing like marijuana. You know, guy sold it to me saying, "Oh, you know, this is like marijuana. This is like marijuana, but if you're on probation, you can smoke this because it won't come up on a P test." You know, and I tried it, and I was like, "Oh, hell no." You never tried it knowingly? Maybe unknowingly. Holy shit, that would suck. When I smoked the spice, my friend's dad. I went over to my friend's dad's house when I was in town one day, and freaking, he goes, "Here, smoke this," and I was like, "What the hell is this shit?" And he tried to say, he said it was spice, and he said, uh, "Just take a big as drag as you can, hold it in, and then blow it out." And I basically smoked the entire bowl in one hit, you know, like because it smoked up real fast. It was just like some tea leaves or some shit, you know. And I held it in, and all of a sudden I was waking up off the floor. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Everybody's all looking at me, all funny. It was my dad's. It was my friend's dad and his best friend, and I was like looking at them like, "What the fuck did happen? Just happened to me?" Everything's going wah 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 and shit. Yeah, it was stupid. Yeah, yeah. They say that if you smoke enough banana peels, dried banana peels, you can get a high like marijuana, but it doesn't work. Cloves don't work. All of it doesn't work. When I was a little kid, me and my friends, me and two of my friends, we built a bong out of a pickle jar, and it was a badass bong. But we didn't have no weed. We were just trying to be stupid. You know what I mean? I was real young back then. I think I was like 8 or 9. And we did go in the kitchen and get the oregano and smoke the oregano through that bong and thinking we were cool. And yeah, no, the oregano wasn't like weed. But at the same time, the my friend's mom caught us with this big fucking pickle jar bong and turned us into the fucking sheriff's department. And the sheriff's department didn't do shit to us because we never smoked no weed out of it. It was just oregano. They basically gave us a lecture and stole our bong. And the fucking bong is still sitting on the shelf at the sheriff's department to this day. It's funnier than shit. Yeah. It was funny because the local deputy, my friend's mom, found us with our big ass pickle jar bong, and we were smoking the oregano in it, and she thought it was like the end of the world. She acted like it was like fucking like not my boy, and it was so funny watching the deputy talk to her about, ma'am, it's only oregano, ma'am. There's nothing I can do about it, ma'am. You know what I mean? It was funnier than shit. And he basically gave a strong lecture and stole our bomb. We basically told his mom, our friend's mom, you see, you know, like you try to get us in trouble over some stupid, like over a fucking pickle jar with some contraption built out of it, you know. Yeah, oregano is a gateway drug. Cloves is a gateway drug. So is pickle. Dried banana peels. You're funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's funny. It's funny when the school teaches you what a gateway drug is. That's another funny one. When you're at public school and they teach you what a gateway drug is, it's like, what are you trying to tell me, lady? I mean, I thought you was my 10th or my 6th grade teacher. And now you're trying to tell me about gateway drugs? The fuck is this? You know, it's kind of like when they go to like going to sex ed when you're sitting there in sex ed, like, uh, why did I have to know any of this shit? You know, come to find out, next year, boy. No, you know. Like, what are they teaching me this for? All of a sudden, your eyes are wide open. Shit, overthink. They put me on Ritalin in 3rd grade. You know. I get to laugh about that like it's hilarious. You know, like they put me on Ritalin when I was in 3rd grade. Shit. You know. It's like my friends thought they was cool throwing up them gang signs, and I was over there on Ritalin every day. You know. Like, you mean to tell me you went down to the principal's office and they gave you a pill that was made out of methamphetamines and you just got to swallow that thing and go back to class? You know? Yeah. I'll be all up in class. Yesterday, I didn't feel like a robot, but ever since they gave me these Ritalin pills, oh, that's too bad. Mouth ulcers are painful. Holy shit. You must have been stressed out. You must have been eating inflammatory foods. Yeah. What's that? Wellbutrin? They put me on Wellbutrin before. Then, yep, that's the suicide drug. That'll make you want to commit a suicide. You know, I won't ever again take no Wellbutrin. They tried to make me happy, and that shit is not for making people happy. Yeah, I know. I felt it too. If you're talking about Wellbutrin, I felt it. Sarah, Zat, Sarah, Zat, Sarah, Zat. I don't know how to say that. Yeah, don't know how it compares to yours. Might be similar ingredients, different name. Yeah, I'd have to Google it. It'd be crazy to find out it was the same shit. Oh, so Roxat. So Roxat. No, it says it's different. It says they're belonging to separate drug classes and work on different brain chemicals. Dang, that's scary. So there's like two different drugs that could make you want to commit suicide that they've tried on people. I'm gonna say what American drug is it equal to? Paxil in the United States. Both brand name medications contain the exact same active generic chemical ingredient, which is para, Parazentine, para, paroxetine, 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 paroxetine. It belongs to a group of drugs called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Dang. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they those are all the ones that I have. Those are all the disorders I have. Social anxiety disorder, uh, obsessive compulsive disorder, depression, anxiety. Except I didn't get paranoia. I wasn't that paranoid. I rode dirt bikes and stuff. My mind was my mind was always able to continue to work. You know, I was athletic, so I used athleticism and freaking the fast paced like action sports as a way to freaking keep my mind just focused, going. Like I think I was all of those except for paranoid. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You dealt with this for so long that we're more resilient, to more, please still joke and ask if I'm suicidal. Yeah, that's that's scary, huh? Yeah. Done been there. Done felt that way for a long ass time, dude. Yeah. Yeah. I I you know I actually been like suicidal since I was like 3 years old, but it was masked as antisocial behavior, you know, because when I wanted to get away, I used to want to get away. you know, I would take my ass outside and lay down in the tall grass where nobody could see me, and they'd come out and call for me, wonder where I'm at, and I'd be hiding in the tall grass out back where nobody could see me, you know, or I would go behind the lazy boy recliner that was right by the window, so the lazy boy tilted back, and I was like a little boy, a 3-year old boy that would hide back there from people. I always felt like I wanted to hide from people, as a little child. I didn't really like people when I was a little child. I was scared of the way that the world walked around me. All the way up until I was like 3, I was thinking, "Holy shit, this guy's not gonna harm me. That guy's not gonna harm me, are they?" You know? Dang. Yeah. Yeah. The women, they have their little triggers that they start fights a lot. But the dads, they shouldn't be so mean to the women. A lot of this happens a lot of times, though. The common theme in life for us humans seems like the dad's easily the aggressor, but the mom sometimes she's got a little attitude, but that still don't mean that the dad's got to be a jerk. You know, yeah, that's how it was back in the '80s for me too. Yeah, yeah. Each one of us are pressured, but some people are pressured even further. Like constant pressure. They feel constantly pressured. It's really scary. Yeah, I think it's harder for each generation to judge the new one. Yeah, definitely. They always try to do that. They always try to discredit the next generation. It's so weird. I mean, but the next generation always isn't as hardly taught as the generation before. Everybody's trying to do more better than the first generation, but it doesn't always work that way. Some generations are worse. Yeah, I think I should head out. I think I'm gonna head out and go to sleep or something like that. Thanks for talking with me a little bit. They aren't advancing because we are always that bad. Yeah, you too. Thanks for talking with me. It's been nice. You're awesome. Always have been. See you next time.